My friend's lawyer. I literally was going around telling everybody that yesterday.
That was really funny.
That was embarrassing to do that.
What were you saying?
I was like, you guys, my friend is a lawyer. I was just telling everybody that. And then the person, our waitress, bought her dessert because she's a lawyer. Nice.
Oh, the perks already started. Yeah. I'm going to start off with my peeps because my peeps represented this week. So our friend Steph got her first gig as a lawyer, a huge career PR. Leanna and I were both squatting for joy upon hearing this. And talk about squatting for joy. So for those of you, I've mentioned this, but for those of you who don't recall, my girlfriend Leanna, the last 3 years, she's been plagued with some knee injuries to the point where there was segments where there was really like not much lower body training, obviously no squatting. And this was a huge breakthrough moment. So when you are going through an injury, if you've ever been an injured athlete, raise your hand. You know that the area physically you heal up before you mentally heal up, and you can trust the body part in question. And in her case, like even though these were per our taste a little shallow, it was a huge win, and that, you know, to come back down and come back up and then realize like, holy shit, I'm okay. That's a huge step in the right direction. And this is weight that would have been remotely challenging back in her heyday. She was a squatter. She was a legit squatter in the 300s. And yeah, like this is huge. And I can't wait to see her on the platform. Again, I'm sure that day will be a freaking nervous wreck, but it's coming. And it's been a long, hard road. And yeah, at the end it left her a better athlete. That's for sure. While, you know, certain things might not be progressing when you are on the sidelines, you can also take that time to learn a lot, and she'll come back a lot more complete and stronger than ever. That I am sure of. So here we are, my week. How did it go? So remember, we've been just flying coming out of the gate. We've been gaining some weight, and basically just progressing like an intermediate. Like, let's try to do something a little bit heavier, add a few more reps, basically every week. And, you know, and that's fine and appropriate, but we've gotten to the point where, yeah, we're pretty much at off-season levels of strength, like straight up already. And it's been, 12 weeks since the show. So I'm ready to basically pump up the volume. We're still going to do a 4-day a week thing. The biggest difference is that basically now the week starts with the lighter loading, with the volume work, and it ends with sandbaggy heavy days. So the 50 rep challenge, that is where you guys saw the title. So no, I'm not doing sets of 50, absolutely not. So my first progression scheme ever was the 50 rep challenge. And the way this works is that you have 4 sets to accumulate 50 reps, and then once you do that, you up the weight. You know, and since it is in the higher rep ranges, most lifters find that they can definitely add a rep here or two over time. However, there might be some days where you just, you know, you might like have scored previously 46 reps. This time it was 43. You took a step back. That happens. But over time, you chew away and you build up to that 50. And then once you are able to accumulate 50 reps in 4 sets, then you will up the load, and then the process restarts all over again. So I'm doing this for a few reasons. Sounds too simple, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I think sometimes people look for the most like elaborate, complex way to organize their training to progress, because the more complicated it is, the more progress you make, obviously, right? And it doesn't always have to be that way. So again, I'm training 4 days a week, upper, lower, remotely modest levels of volume, considering the fact that I have been training for almost 2 decades now, and I'm using a very simple, straightforward progression scheme. And that is what I want to do with this log. Is, again, I don't want to just like log my stuff and it's going to serve as memoirs. And I absolutely I like seeing my highlights in video, absolutely. But at the same time, I want to set a good example. I want people to, and I might even have people at this point, they're like, man, this shit's fucking boring. Like, this dude's just going to be gaining and repping and gaining and repping for the next few years. Well, that ain't too thrilling. But at some point, I'm going to be making hella gains. a lot of these people are going to be like, holy shit, how did that happen? How did homeboy, improve so much this late into his training? Let me go look through these journals, see what's happening, see how we got here. And they're going to see that it was actually very simple, very straightforward. Homie just showed up and he stayed committed to his goal. And that was basically it. So again, I know I have some lifers in here for sure. Like some of you guys just going to be showing up every week. And I think a lot of that is because you guys get it. Not everyone gets it yet. But eventually, that's my goal, is to help more people get it, and get theirs. So yeah, that's how it's the progression scheme is going to be. The first 2 days, every movement, we're going to give ourselves 4 sets to try to accumulate 50 reps. When we do that, we up the load. And then the last 2 days of the week are going to be more sandbagging and in the lower rep ranges. So I'm not going to try to progress on my heavier stuff and on my pumpier stuff at the same time. I'll kind of give each one their own chance to shine. But yeah, that's my system the next few weeks. We'll probably run it for about 10 and then eventually transition to something heavier and see what that volume did for us and see how much stronger we are, and get stronger, which is like always thrilling. So the testing week, this was supposed to be the heaviest week for me, went really well, with the exception of the fact that my left lat it's been bugging me the last few weeks, but it got to the point where I'm like, I'm not going to be able to yank 500 for reps off the ground with this thing. So I auditioned the good morning. Look how awful my good morning looked. It's going to get better. This was the first set that I did, thus why it looked like that. And after that, just got to work on bettering the form and again, like the safety squat bars there, it's a super comfy way to do a good morning. And yeah, well, why not? I kind of like the fact that that you don't have to load as much on that one relative to a deadlift. Obviously, the load's further away from your hip, which makes the relative load heavier. But still, just want to give that one a go for a minute. But yeah, so that's probably the only thing that didn't go according to plan. My front squat, which is, again, I'm front squatting. I'm dumbbell pressing, and then the trap bar is like my big 3, if you will. But on this day, man, I came in so nervous because I knew I felt good. I woke up from a nap. I was not supposed to train. I'm like, I feel fucking good. Let's go to the gym. And I lost focus because as soon as I started to warm up, I'm like, man, not only is this going to be a good day, but this is potentially going to be a day that I could do something that I've never done before in the gym. And that doesn't happen too often, right? Especially not coming off of prep. My off season, this was just a little like wake up set here, a single to wake up the nervous system and make me less afraid of what was to come, which was a 315 for reps. Off season, 315 for 7 was the PR. I got 315 for 6 here. A lot of it has to do with the fact that I just got nervous. I squatted on top of my hips. Was not bracing right. I wasn't giving each rep their own breath, and I paid for it. So could have been much better, but nevertheless, I'm happy. This kind of confirms that I am right about my old off-season strength levels, and now it's time to take those strength levels and create some volume with them. So yeah, no, testing went well. 12 weeks post-show, and I could say that I'm as strong as I was at any point during my off-season, and arguably even perhaps stronger. Yeah. So yeah, we're ready to add the volume, and that's what the next few weeks are going to look like. And what I do want to do, and call me out on this if I don't, guys, but I do want to give you guys a little bit more of the voyeurism behind the scenes. So not just like the training, but perhaps like the coach side of things. Even though this is kind of like my outlet for me as an athlete, it's like, hey, get to showcase the athlete side of me. I think what I'll do is I'll take you guys around a little bit more. So my local real life friends, if you're hearing this, every once in a while I'll be that annoying dude with the camera, but it's I got the best friends. They'll understand. Most of them lift and eat protein as well, but that's where we're at. Volume block coming up, 50 rep challenge. The spreadsheet will be in the description, and yeah, look forward to sharing this with you guys. And yeah, we'll just keep showing up until we get what we want.